Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Be the Media Huntington. Tonight is Wednesday, October 9th, and my name is Jenny Lee, and tonight I have with me Miss Dana.
Hi, guys.
And Miss Lisa.
Hi, everyone.
And it's been a very moist day here today in Huntington. It's been raining all day. It's almost representative of the sadness many of the residents of South Huntington School are feeling since their bond did not pass. I guess it depends which side that you're feeling. I know that Dana was feeling some sadness and some people that we knew were as well. But there's also some very happy people out there who are happy it did not pass. But Dana, you're well versed on the subject matter if you want to take it from here.
The bond did not pass, and it didn't pass. It's not like it was a close call. It didn't pass. A lot of people, they said this is the most elderly turnout that we had. There were a lot of people that were for the bond, but there were more people against the bond. The problem was, here was a major issue. There were people that generally couldn't afford the bond, and that is fine. There's no explanation needed why you can or can't afford it. That's your business. You know what you can afford. There were people that were against the bond because it did not have certain things in the bond, like auto shop, home economics, plumbing, things like that. I can also understand. But then there were also people that were the closet elitists who jumped on the bandwagon of saying that, oh, this is too much money. What about the elderly? Because they did not want to help those families that were considered economically disadvantaged, but they always referred to the word free or reduced lunch. Those are the people that I was most adamant about defeating. Because first of all, it's not 50% that are all receiving free and reduced lunch. It's 50% of the district that is labeled economically disadvantaged. So if you really cared about the people who couldn't afford it, you would say that. You wouldn't just single out the the free and reduced lunch. Because the truth of the matter is, you can be labeled economically disadvantaged and still not qualify for free or reduced lunch. So you have to see, who does what. And sadly, those people won. So, our kids somebody said that they were in a coffee shop, and an older gentleman was like, all we had was books and textbooks and a desk. They should be good enough. Okay, well, let's see how your kids, discover anything using materials from 1968. You need an upgrade. So a lot of people are upset. There are a lot of things that why people were upset, I could understand. But the people that were just these elitists, and they would attack you online. They would attack you.
Yep.
Going on for days.
I heard it was more about money for a lot of people. And it's almost like too much too fast. You know how the developers come in with a super large number and then they reduce that number? It's almost like something, because I thought it was in with the advertising campaign that they were launching and everything. They spent a lot of money trying to get it to pass. So it had the illusion of being there. And I did hear from many people, it's just too much. I heard the voting no. I saw the discussions you were having where it was getting brutal. I mean, people are very upset over not wanting this to pass. And you're right, they were getting vicious. But it's almost like don't F with my money type of thing. And I can kind of see both sides of it.
It wasn't a lot of that though. It wasn't a lot of don't. It wasn't that part, because what can you say to someone who tells you I can't afford it? That's it. Those people you can't say anything to.
That's why I said it's too much too fast. They need, if they want to even consider getting some sort of upgrade, they need to really take it down a lot of notches, start there, and then build on that foundation forward.
But are you going to be able to, first of all, the elderly people who are out there voting, I mean, you come back with a bond for 50 million, they're probably going to say no. Let's be realistic. But if you start taking what certain people consider fluff, other people consider a necessity. So how do we meet a common ground? First of all, the district in its whole, the Huntington in its whole, the administration needed to review what the community has in regards to what is the makeup of the community. And they didn't do that. If you have more than 50% of your community that only have a high school diploma or less, you can't propose a bond that's strictly promoting academics, because obviously they've been successful without academics. And I don't think they did that. And I don't think they listened to a lot of people in the community. Did we lose Jenny? Oh no, this she is.
No,
I don't think they spoke to, I don't think they had enough community input, and that made people angry.
I hope they come back with a lower number and we'll maybe.
Oh, this isn't going away. This is just know it that, listen, we see this with developers all the time. You chase them away, they come back with a lower number after they do their community outreach. It's not going to go away. They put too much into it. They're going to find another strategy and reintroduce it at a different time. That's all.
They should.
It seems like so much now. Why so much now? What have they been doing the last 5, 10,
Nothing.
20 years? What did you do with all that money?
They made basic improvements, but like I said, some of the things that we have, the toilets are from like 1964. The lab equipment, like my son is in science research. He has equipment from like 1980. It's 2019.
Right. And they took away all those trades. They took away wood shop. They took away home ec. They took away the auto shop. I did all those.
And that's
a damn shame. Kids today, nobody knows how to change a tire. Nobody knows how to count change back to a customer.
Life skills.
Nobody even knows where the dipstick is in a car.
Even Dana's kids know how to cook Pop-Tarts.
Oh, you're right. I forgot we were live. I was getting ready to give you the finger. I was like,
no, there was a discussion on Dana's page the other night, and she had said most kids don't even know how to cook a Pop-Tart. And I had said, well, how do you cook a Pop-Tart? Because I've always just used a toaster. That's not really cooking.
No, he didn't know. He didn't know how to do that.
I know.
I was like, why are you asking this dope? He doesn't know. But Matt Harris came on my thread and he was like, what the same point you just made, Lisa, what about auto shop? What about all these things and all of that? They left that out. You can't just, and I said to him, I can't change a tire. I don't like cooking. I don't know how to do hair, but I have a degree that lets me pay people to do that. But instead of thinking one is here and one is there, how about we treat them equally? Because we all need each other. I need you to do the service that I can't do, and I have to make the money to do that. So we need each other. How come it's that the kids that go to college are up here and the other kids are down here? No, I believe that they're that equal. When I learned that there were no auto shop and things like that, I did, that wasn't good. And guess who told me about that? My best friend's husband. I don't know how to pronounce the last name.
Who?
His name is Phil.
Oh.
Yeah,
them.
No, he was pleasant though. He was the one who gave me the information. I had a pleasant exchange with him because I didn't know. And he told me that wasn't.
Pronounce it craze, like crazy, like you're crazy. Pronounce it.
I'm just saying.
Crazy with a K. Crazy.
The man, his name is Phil. He was nice though. I had a pleasant conversation with him, and he's the one who really told me. And I was just like,
"That's good." I hope his wife has gotten the help she needs. So
what you say, kids? I'm coming. Hold on.
So we had the day labor site that was also a huge topic of conversation within the town of Huntington, because the owners of CVS, but not the owners, but the manager, two of the managers, district manager and the store manager, have both gone on record at the town of Huntington and spoken about the loitering situation, which we have discussed on the last 2 episodes. So that's not something I feel that we need to repeat in regards to that. But I had a very interesting conversation with somebody asking me how would I approach that as a candidate. It was actually Patrick Deegan. And just so you guys know, he is running, he is on the ballot, and I think that he should be treated as such. So I am going to be extending him an invitation, as we did to the other 4 people who are running for town council, of which only 2 have gotten back to us. And
what 2 gotten back to you?
That would be Eugene Cook and Andre Sorrentino. Andre Sorrentino was the first. Kathleen Cleary's assistant did get back, asked about the format, and then never got back. And I guess Joan was too busy doing other videos to
She was
hit time.
making the
Yeah,
grave.
we're going to get back to Joan's stuff later, but we're going to stay on this because I wanted to bring up some of the things what people aren't considering. We have a lot of bleeding heart people who want to see a human as a human, and what we should really do is bring back the site. And I wanted to just touch on some of the things that came up during the conversation. When you support this,
Excuse me, I have to interrupt.
yes, ma'am.
Because Jenny and Lisa, you owe me dinner, and I'm announcing it on the air so everybody can hear, because I said who would be the first people to call back and who wouldn't.
Let's go to the steak place again. I missed that place. IMC. We'll go there again.
Okay, I'm sorry. I had to interrupt, but I
Oh, the
had
one
to,
on the-
I don't
oh,
mind.
the one
I'll
on the
treat
village?
you. I love splitting desserts with you girls. I get to
I
cheat.
had to get my props. I told you when you sent that out. I was like,
Is that where you guys took me for my birthday?
Yes.
Please? Oh, okay.
Yes. And we'll pretend it's somebody's birthday again. We will
Okay.
celebrate Nina being right.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Jenny. Go ahead. I just had
No,
to get-
no, it's okay. So I just wanted to bring up some of the myriad of laws that are being broken when we support the day labor site. Number one, I'm completely aware we are a sanctuary city and that the illegal immigration problem is a multi-layered federal, state, and town issue. Most of the issues do extend from federal, and from what we're seeing, a lot of that's being tackled. I particularly love Balone talking about how the gang rates, because he's running for office and crime is down. And so he's basically taking credit for what the feds have done in regards to shutting off a lot of this. The other issue is what they don't realize that they're supporting when they support the day labor site is they are encouraging identity theft,
How?
because you're being picked up for a job, right? So
Okay.
you're either stealing somebody's identification to be able to work legally, right? Or you're being paid cash off the books, which is also helping these small businesses skirt the same taxes that the legal business owners pay, which increases their bottom line. So you'll have the illegal, like let's use landscapers as a perfect example. You'll have a landscaping company and be able to undercut all the other legal landscapers because they're not paying the same overhead. At the same time, they're also not paying the payroll taxes because they're paying cash. So they are avoiding the same type of taxes that the legal business owners are. So there's all sorts of it's not just the legal illegal component of this. You're also supporting people's identity being stolen. I'm going to, without naming the name of the woman, I have a friend who has a son who's severely disabled. He's highly non-functioning, already an adult. So therefore he claims Social Security benefits. When his Social Security benefits got canceled 2 years ago because he was found to be working. Now he's incapable of working. He can't even take care of himself. But somebody had stolen his identity and used it for work, and therefore he lost and is having to prove that he has not been working, and in the meantime is not getting the benefits that he needs to survive as a human being. So that's just one small victim out of this whole thing. Go ahead, go ahead, say yourself. I see your face, Dana.
No, I didn't. I don't. I
Terrible.
have anything to say about that one. I'm just in a state of shock. Like,
But
Why-
how do they steal someone's identity? They just randomly pick a number? Or, I mean,
Well,
randomly pick a
so
date?
no, there's places, particularly in North Carolina, South Carolina. It's one of the reasons why you'll see a lot of the license plates, because that's how they get their ID, they get the insurance, to get the car, but they're using somebody else's identity in the meantime. So they're not going out and stealing it, like picking it out of somebody's pocket. They're going to somebody who's already collected all the information and sells it to them.
Jeez.
There's a whole business with identity theft.
I don't have time to even understand how to do that.
that's what I guess. That's why I'm shocked. I'm like, who?
Yeah.
How
do you do that?
So there's just so many components, and I thought that was just such an interesting one. It needed to be brought up. When I'm watching all the debates, they usually get stuck on you're a racist, it's immigration, borders, illegal, legal, and there's so many other laws that are being broken. And what it does to our legal business owners is it's it's stealing. It really is. And they're avoiding taxes. I mean, we talk about equality all the time. Well, they're supposed to be equally paying their fair share if they are taking money as a business. And then you get into the whole thing of you're using people who likely are not insured on your property to save some money. And you know, there's a lot of people who are probably watching right now that have somebody working for them that is illegal. And even that little bit, you know, I mean, we talk about Cuomo encouraging people to come here illegally all the time because of the free benefits of college and healthcare. There's also there's a, you know, there's a market for it. And people don't want to pay high prices, but they want these jobs done. And unfortunately, these are people coming and doing it for less, for cash, and nobody's taking into consideration the other victims.
Wow. And what a burden that puts on the taxpayers.
Oh, huge. Yeah. You know, think about it. We've already got a budget. I don't want to give more taxes to my governor because I don't like my governor. And I think they misappropriate or just use taxes on things I don't really fully support, while other things are infrastructure is crumbling and other things like that. But I have to make up that shortfall when somebody else is avoiding it. As a small business owner or as a taxpayer, your taxes go up when there's a shortage, and then they're taking from one fund to another fund. You're still going to pay it, even though you're not getting a bill directly for. You're not, you know, you're still paying it. So.
I'm not happy about that at all.
I didn't mean to do that. Sorry. Okay, so what else did we have? Let me find this for you. Okay. I wanted to tell you guys about Centerport, because Centerport Green. Centerport, there is a filming called Love 40. Did you guys hear about this?
Yes, I heard about it, but I don't know what movie it is.
Well, it's in Green. I'm trying to get my photos up right now. It's in Green Lawn, right on the main road. I have all my stuff up for clams, but not the other
On
stuff.
Broadway.
Right. Wait, hold on.
Yeah.
I just completely lost everything. I apologize. Oh, there it is. It's over here in the corner. Again, this is still new stuff. We're trying to figure out lighting. You could tell I'm a ghost. Okay. And that's not it.
Oh,
You see that? That's it?
no, that's you
That's me still?
You and the flags in front of Town Hall.
on YouTube.
Well, of course. Okay. I don't know why it's on our screen. All right. I'll try to figure this out and we'll take it from there. Remarkable. Here we go. Sorry, I'm off my game. Can you see that one?
Yeah.
Okay. So it says exciting times in Green Lawn as we were selected to be part of a movie scene. This is from Green Lawn Hardware. I go there all the time. I try to go there instead of Home Depot. I love to support local and small businesses. Green Lawn Hardware is one of my favorites. This film is an independent romantic comedy entitled Love 40 from Blue Water Lane Productions. An actor was filmed walking out of the store across Broadway and into a tow truck across the street. Contrary to rumors, Adam Sandler was not the actor, thanks to Blue Water Lane for choosing us to have a very small role in their production. So I thought that was worth an honorable mention. That always brings a great amount of revenue into our town when they get paid to use the facilities. Usually they hire local people to, they eat here, they're spending their money here, so it really helps with our local economy.
You know all about the extras.
Yeah, I used to do a lot of background work.
Very
Oh, well, my kids did it, and then I got picked to do a couple of things with them. It's a lot of fun. You learn a lot. You learn a lot. Like being on time. That's important. What was the other thing we wanted to touch on? I had it up here before. Here. Now I'm getting better at this. Lisa, you're going to love this one. I know you had a lot to say about this. This came from our harbor master on October 2nd, Fred Uvina. They dumped 1.8 million clam seed, little baby clams, into the town of Huntington Water for our shellfish preservation initiative. Thank you, Cornell Cooperative, extension of Suffolk County Marine Program. So they dumped all these baby clams into the harbor. Look at them, 1.8 million. Look at all these crates stacked 3 high.
They look like peanuts.
So it'll be interesting. They do. It'll be interesting to follow up and see whether the water killed them or if they grew and they did what it was intended to do. Because I don't know how that's going to go. Right?
Yeah, we'll definitely have to follow up with that.
Mhm.
Think about it.
Water, and then speaking of water, you see my picture in front. That's me at Heckscher Park 30 years ago. And you see the color of the water?
It's green.
That's what color the water used to be all the time. You could never see the bottom, or you could never see anything like you could see now. So, and I was so crazy back then feeding the geese from, I used to go to Agway, which was on Railroad Street, and buy 50-pound bags of grain, cracked corn, all kinds of really good things, and feed all the little critters. Loved it.
What, Jenny? You know when you live, we can hear you.
I'm so sorry. I got blocked just now. Well, I'm always getting blocked, but I was trying to set up because I keep the list, and I was trying to set up the next thing, which is the Newsday thing.
Like we can hear you.
Just up there, and I was just about to go into the Andrew Ray has a new challenger. Goodness. All right. So there was an article that came out by Newsday, and I can't bring it up because Newsday shut off my clicks, which, by the way, all you have to do to get around that is open a different browser and clear your cookies. So I don't have time to do that right now. But Andrew Rea has a new challenger for his assembly seat, was the article that Newsday put out. And
His assembly seat, or
I thought was very funny because he's actually running for
town clerk.
right, his mom's ex seat, which is why
Right.
he was using his mom's old slides. I say that all the time because it says a history of.
So he's running now. He wasn't really running
Right. So if he
before.
loses,
Now he is.
he goes back to his assembly seat and they would conduct a special election. But if he wins the town clerk, wait, no, that's the opposite. It's the opposite. So if he loses the town clerk seat, he will maintain his assembly seat. If
Right.
he wins the town clerk seat, then they will have a special election. So I don't know why she's running yet, because right now his challenger is Saks, S-A-K-S. Does that sound familiar to you?
The name does, but I don't know why.
So if we take it back to our very, very, very first episode, and the whole reason why Be the Media came to be, we did an episode, it's one of our most watched on YouTube. Don't compare our YouTube views to our Facebook views. They're all over the place. You want to go to Facebook to determine that. But our very first, if you sort it by popular, it'll be the first one that pops up for you on our channel. And it was called The Party of One, or Unipolitics is basically what I like to call it. And we talk about how they use the party lines to secure things to be voted their way against the public and without their knowledge, right in plain sight. Almost like how we had the judges that were all cross-endorsing one candidate. So the Democrats, Republicans, Conservative, Independent, all. So no matter who you vote for, that judge is getting in because it was cross-endorsed by every single party. So similar to that, it was Jennifer Thompson who was running for a town board seat. Do you recall that election?
I do.
So out of nowhere, there was a conservative. Now she lost by very, very little votes. She would have beat Susan Berland if she had gotten the conservative line totals. But out of nowhere, some guy nobody knew. We knew the name, which was Saks, appeared on the conservative line. So Saks is the son of Sheila Saks, who was very good friends with Susan Berland, and she was the president of House Beautiful in Dix Hills for a very, very, very long time.
I remember that Dix Hills part. So, but she's not alive anymore. She's not.
No, Sheila passed away. It's funny because I passed by this house in Centerport today, and I'm like, this is a party line voter. They have all Democrats.
I know what that is. I was going to Was it the Copenhagen Bakery or whatever it is in Northport? And I
Yes.
saw that, and I was like,
Yep.
what is that?
Yep. So anyways, Berlin's been in politics. She's got a lot of political currency. Her husband got his judgeship after, all that stuff. So he's already got his judgeship. So her good friend, Sheila Sachs, who recently passed away, her son had magically shown up on the conservative line. There was no literature. He was never at any debates, but people still went in and voted down the party line for the conservative line and took all those votes away from Jennifer Thompson. She ended up losing the election because of that, because there was trickery at play. So that's how that happened. So Andrew Rea does have a new challenger, but it's for the town clerk's seat, and it was somebody who was a paper candidate. So depending on whether this person does show up or does not show up, it leads me to believe either this person was put up as part of, how the party leaders get together and they make the decisions. So either this person was put up so that Andrew Rea was in, so he didn't have to worry about having a challenger, just the person they're going to fall on their sword, or there's a serious fight going on. Or it could just be the Democrats said, no, you can have the town clerk seat. We have other seats we would rather that you put up other candidates for that are a little weak and don't perform. They really like the legislative seats. They're willing to give away town seats, especially ones they consider not much. And I liked Andy actually fighting for us as an assemblyman, because he was doing a great job fighting LIPA. He's one of the only guys that came out. So I don't know why he would do what I consider taking a step down. I think taking the town clerk is a step down from being an assemblyman and being.
What else did he do besides LIPA? Why would I want to support him?
Yeah, I don't have a list in front of me, but there's nothing that really stands out either. So.
Yeah, I'm done with the name politics. I've had enough. I've had my share, and he's done nothing. I don't see him doing anything. If you go look at his vote, when you go look at what he voted for while he was in the state assembly, most of the time when it's something that's important, he's absent. So why am I breaking my neck? His mother's a lovely woman, and there was somebody on one of the lines that talked about, not one of the posts, Ellie D'Amico, and she was like, he used the name Rhea, and I never looked at the sign, right? So people may just vote thinking that that's his mom.
Right. No, yeah. I think they're her old signs.
They look like her old signs, yeah.
A history of whatever and integrity. It's not his history. It's his mother. They're two completely different people. So I don't even know.
Yeah, she'll get a vote hands down. I don't know why I would want.
Not running.
No, but think about it. If I'm not well versed and I see the name Rhea and I don't see his name in front of it, I'm going to. Joanne's been there for how long? I'm going to think it's his mom, and then I'm going to vote yes. To vote for her. I don't know. I thought that was pretty deceiving.
It is. Yeah, it is. I think also. I have to agree. So I want to get into the Italian Stallion.
Goodbye.
We'll talk about the Italian Stallion, and then you had something you wanted to talk with us about.
I'm listening to this Italian Stallion because the only one I know is Rocky. So go ahead.
No, it's just it goes back to the whole pandering. So I'll tell you how this started and how it rolled out for me during the day. So I ended up getting this screenshot sent to me today in my inbox, and Joan had been putting up. First, she put up "Proud to serve Huntingtonians and my hometown. I asked for your support on election day," and then this video about Italians. So I looked and I said, "Where is this?" Because it got sent to me, and the person was really questioning why this is being done. I'm going to show you where it is.
Isn't it the Dennison building?
The what?
I thought it was the Dennison building, but go ahead.
No, the Huntington. I just want to show you what the rock is. This is the page that it was on. And if you guys love the rock, go join the page. So what is the rock? The Rock, oh, I'm not even on my screen share. Oh, yes, I am. Okay, good. I'm not lost anymore. So the Rock is the Rock outside of the high school, and they've been painting this for years. Little shameless self-promotion. This is the Huntington Blue Devils Marching Band home show that we just had. Eyes with Pride, my daughter Vivian helped paint this Rock. She was so excited to be able to paint this in her lifetime. It's the name of our show, and they all put their hands on it. She came home with blue hands. But this page is all about, it's all about the Rock. Okay, that goes back, look at this, 1979, right?
Goes back. They got born yet.
Yes. So this is about the Rock. So anyways, I see this go up, and I have no shame whatsoever in saying that, yes, okay, you're right. I have no shame. You're right, Dina. So I have no shame whatsoever in admitting that I reported her immediately.
Oh my God.
I wonder why she doesn't answer.
No, it's inappropriate. It is inappropriate. So I reported her, and I did thank the administrator of the page that for deleting the two posts that I reported. But honestly, if your game is tight and you're doing well in your race, you don't need to plaster this on pages where people don't need to see your politics. Your game.
Gene and Andre did that. Give me a break.
Right, exactly.
Oh
You'd
my
be hearing
God.
from all the usual suspects with all their usual fake accounts.
Yeah, blah, blah, blah.
Yes, exactly. So anyways, one of the other posts I want to share, because I know that Vivian, that Dana just heard her segue. So I'm going to get back to you on that. But I want everyone to see the fun video that she put up. Let me get back to this. I'm going to crack up. I'm not going to play the whole thing. I'm going to play the whole thing.
I'm going to see it.
You were going to see it. So it's called Italian Heritage.
Okay.
There we go.
Hi, this is Joan Sergel. As we celebrate Italian Heritage this month, I thought I'd answer a question that I get asked a lot. What kind of a name is Sergel?
Sounds Greek to me.
Il nome è italiano, from the northern part of Italy, near Trieste.
That's right, Jesse. My father-in-law Bruno's family was from Trieste in northern Italy. That's why Sergel doesn't end in a vowel. My maiden name is also Italian, DeVito. The DeVitos are from Bari in southern Italy. My grandfather Salvatore was a decorated Italian officer in World War I. He and my grandmother brought my dad Nicholas here from Rome at age 4. Dad started his career as a doctor in the U.S. Army, but he moved to Huntington in 1961 and served his community as a surgeon for 30 years.
I know that house.
Dad was modest about his work, but to this day I hear from others about how he helped his patients in and out of the operating room. It was Dad who inspired me to public service. He was president of the Old Huntington Green for 5 years, a group dedicated to preserving the Old Village Green settlement area. A rock still stands on the green in Dad's honor, a point of great pride for my family. I dedicate much of my work to him. Both Dad and Mom were immigrants, and both embody the American dream. Dad loved Huntington, and Dad loved his Italian heritage. 2 loves that, thankfully, he passed on to his daughter.
Yeah. All right. We're going to stop her there because I don't want to embarrass the other guy that takes over after that. But just like Andrew Rea, here's somebody else using my mommy or daddy to help shamelessly promote myself for politics instead of telling me what you accomplished. And Joan, you had your chance to come on the show. You could have told us what you're running on. So now we're going to have to put you on in more creative ways and have these conversations without you. But she talked how her father was in charge of preserving the greens. And we did a long show on that. But what's interesting about that is she's kind of doing the opposite of what her dad did. All this development, think about it, right? All this development, we've been talking about the development coming down the pike, and they've been saying how this is all, well, Frank Petrone put this in motion and we can't stop this, or we hear that a lot. This is all from the previous administration. Mm-hmm. Joan was the person organizing all that. She worked for Frank Petrone.
She was his right hand. She was there.
Right. She's the person who's responsible for the overdevelopment that you're seeing.
Right.
So to say that, I'm following in the tradition of my father's footsteps is a huge stretch from the truth, from
Right.
what you've actually done.
She's
You have a
responsible
record.
for the water we're drinking. For
Yeah.
that taste I have in that my mouth. Thank you, Joan.
Yeah, she left a bad taste in my mouth as well. So
I don't have anything to say in regards to her campaign or anything. I don't really watch it, and my first time seeing the video was when you just saw it. What I will say is that we've gone to an event recently where she was present, and I think a few other politicians were present. When you are in a room full of people who you may have had disagreements with publicly, and you go out of your way to not acknowledge people, it makes you, we noticed you even more.
right, you
As
look ready.
opposed to if everyone else who was in that room came over and said something. Gene sat right next to me, and I'm probably one of his biggest, people that just don't care for his campaign. And he always comes out of his way to sit right next to me. We laugh, we talk, and we go about our business. I just think Joan Circle and Andy Rea both have done that. I just think it's poor politics. At the end of the day, what we feel about you or what we think you do personally, because we don't know you, we're entitled to think so. But when you purposely go out of your way not to say anything, we notice because everybody else comes over.
Dana, she was standing so close to us, we could smell her toilet water. She was wearing.
I remember seeing her when we walked in.
I mean, toilet water.
I was like, what? What is going on?
Well, I just got to say, I think Andre's campaign is doing so well that even Joan might be starting to show up to his events.
It's, and speaking on what you spoke to before in regards to Jennifer Thompson and how the line was basically why she lost.
Stolen.
That's really what Joan and Gene are going to have to run on is Andre, because Andre seems, some of the polls that we've seen, Andre's a shoo-in. But for people like you guys, I know you would do Sorrentino and Cook.
For the record, I need to interject real quick. I do have a poll going and nobody's seen it. So Dana's not referring to my poll. I'm the only one that's really seen it at this point. So she's talking about other polls. So I want you to know there's more than one poll. You didn't see my poll that I have going? Because you can't see the results. Only I can see the results, and we're going to bring the results live on this show next Wednesday.
No, I don't. Okay, so no.
You said you saw polling that showed that. So that's the only reason why I interrupted. I want people to understand I have not been showing that to anybody intentionally because I don't want to. So you didn't see my poll, correct?
I don't know what poll. I don't know. I know there's polls out there, and I know it tells you how many people voted for the person. You don't have to see it. And then there's other ones that you just press. I'm talking about.
I asked you for the results, and you wouldn't tell me.
Thank you.
Yeah, I didn't even know about that. So for the ones I did see, Andre's in the lead. So here is the dilemma for you and Lisa. You would vote Circle and Cook. You'd vote Sorrentino and Cook. For other people like myself, I would vote Sorrentino and Cleary. But if I do Cleary, then I take away from Circle's votes, and then Gene has a possibility of getting back in. So you got to be careful how you vote. So some of us may end up voting Sorrentino and Circle, even though that's not our choice, but we don't want Cook back in.
But you're lifting Cook up at the same time by voting for the Democrats. You're just taking away from the Democrats.
I don't think it's picking up or when it comes to him, because he's done his own damage and he's running on an independent line. And I think he needs somebody to carry him. What I do think is that Joan is struggling and it's not a shoo-in like it was before. And if someone votes for Cleary, like I would have, because Andre is new and so is Cleary, I will take away from her and the possibility of just continuing to, bring her up a little bit more.
And don't forget, Patrick Deegan is still out there, even though he only has the backing of the Libertarian. He is on the party line.
Yes,
and that does still take votes from somebody else.
If you, yeah, because is he a write-in though? Because he's not on the absentee ballot.
He's on the Libertarian line. I went to this New York State Libertarian Party and he's on there. Whether he's on the ballot, I haven't been able to verify or not yet. I haven't seen a ballot, so I won't say it unless, of course, I've seen a ballot. But he has told me and posted it publicly that yes, indeed, he is. See,
Because they did an absentee ballot already, and he's not on there.
oh,
Oh,
So I don't know how that works, but yeah, he's another one I could take away.
oh, that's not good.
Yeah.
So he is running and people have already put their ballots in for November 5th and he's not on it.
Yeah, Ellie
That's
D'Amico
not
did her. Ellie D'Amico did her absentee ballot. That's the only reason why I know. And she said he wasn't on there because he didn't get invited to the NAACP meet the candidates, and he inquired. And I know that they only respond, or when it depends on who's organizing it. This year, Betty Miller is organizing it, and she only went directly to party lines. So the invitation wasn't extended to him, because he doesn't have a major party line backing him. But I did forward the information, so he'll be there.
and they are going to allow him at the League of Women Voters to debate.
They should.
They should.
I mean, they should. I think when you have people running for local elections, if you have the courage to get up there and just, have something to say, you should be allowed to go on there. I don't think you should have to always rely on a major party line. That's my opinion, but
I mean, we had talked about it, back when you were considering it, the way that we would want to do it was without a party line, because that's really what you need.
No. We got a few. We can't. No.
Sorry.
That's gonna come up, so we have to keep that.
Oh, sorry. Oh, no
Yeah.
strategy. Okay, you're not allowed no strategy.
Yeah, no strategies, because we gonna hit them hard next time.
I'm running against you. No.
How you want to be doing that? You supposed to be right now.
I want to be the town clerk.
You'll never have to worry about me. I don't know whoever would want that job.
Well, just because eventually something's going to happen to me, and I just want people to be able to go around town and say, "Who shot the clerk?" Because
Yeah.
who shot the clerk? You shot the clerk?
Lisa, get your friend. She's crazy. Get your friend. She is crazy.
So, fake accounts abound on Facebook. I'm not going to give this one person that I know runs them any recognition at all, because they simply don't deserve it. They're just a narcissistic personality who is going, it's silly games, really silly games, but it's somebody who does have a pattern of doing this for himself to increase his own personal gain. And he does have fake accounts of all genders, which is interesting as well. I guess if I was I would want to be a black man.
What?
Yeah, I mean, that would be
You're
fun.
always saying something.
Sign
that's
out of
the first
Facebook and sign into my fake account, and it's a bro, That would be a lot of fun. I bet you I get a lot of women hitting on me.
Lisa, get ready for the hate mail.
I don't know why. They're always scared to contact me. They always get you. They always go to you they're like, Dana, can you make her stop? It's never worked before. The beatings are going to continue until your morale improves.
They only call you. They only call Jenny when they want to whine about me.
That's true. This is a true statement. No, I'm not going to lie to you. It's true.
Jenny, tell me stop, Lisa. God.
So Dana, you had an interesting morning the other day.
I did. So first of all, a lot of you don't know me personally, but for those of you who know me personally, I hate mornings. So I was looking and I got an email, and it was very interesting. And I went back and forth with the person, and they were showing me the fake accounts that we have of a current elected official. It was interesting. And then they showed me screenshots. Now, I don't know, everyone was so excited when they heard that, right? And I put it out there purposely because I knew the person was on my page, and I know the person is on my page, and I know the person I'm talking about was on my page. So I did it purposely, and I put it out there that I got the information. And I'm not going to speak on something unless I have concrete information. So I was in a state of shock that I got the information. So immediately everyone starts inboxing, who is the blah, 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 blah. And everybody took it as oh my gosh, she gets that kind of information. I didn't take it as that. It was an insult to me. I did, I'm human. I wanted to hear the gossip. Of course, I did listen to it because
But it was so petty.
but it was petty. And you gave me the information as to say, I'm giving you this, run with it. No,
They
it doesn't.
wanted you to spread their
doesn't work like that.
rumor.
But
Yep.
it doesn't work like that. And if you know me, you know I don't operate like that. I don't get involved in people's sexual preference. I don't get involved in people's marriages. I don't get involved with what you think or your own personal stereotypes in your home. I don't care about that. If it's something that is going to impact myself or my community directly, that's a different story. But even then, I would be selective. And if you knew me, I never say anyone's name, and I don't go all around because, I know people, you can be sued for certain things. So while everybody was so excited, I just wanted people to know, one, how tough is your team that somebody let something slip out? That's number one. And it allowed me to know what you and that person must think of me. So now I'm going to keep you at bay. Well, I appreciate the information because we all like it, but now I know that you think I'd be foolish enough to just go run with it. And I don't
They
do
wanted to use you and your mouthpiece to speak their words.
No. But if you took the time to really focus on what I do speak about, and I will call people out, and people will call me out. It has happened, especially with the bond. If I'm wrong, I'll apologize. But I'm not going to say something that's petty. It's not in my nature to do that. When we were younger, my parents didn't allow us to gossip, and we were punished for that. So I don't do that. But it was very upsetting to know that's what somebody thought that they were able to get me to do. When someone gives me information, I choose how I utilize it. No one else does. And if I say something, it is an angle why I'm saying it. So while the information was nice and juicy, because I'm trying to think, if you're supposed to be running our government and you have your own, things going on, how the hell do you have time to write a fake account? Why would you write a fake account? Have one of your flunkies that's in your, legislative aid party do a fake account. Why would you do it yourself? And then why would you screenshot things? That's so silly. But they did. And that's unfortunate. But it also gives me an insight to how they really think about our community and why they govern the way that they do.
Because they're more worried about themselves and their reputation than they worry about the people. And that's why they feel that other candidates are coming from the same place, that they're worried about their reputation. And that's why the October surprise is a thing. And they will throw that out there to try to damage somebody's public persona. And the thing is, I already know, because again, what Dana said, you guys got some loose lips on your campaigns, and you really need to pull it together.
It's a lot. It's a lot.
It's a lot. It's not just one. I know already about the October surprise that you're planning on one of the candidates that I'm planning to vote for, who is not the incumbent, and I think you can narrow that down. And I'm hearing it from your camp. So I know already that you're going after this man and his family. You need to stand on your own policy and your own integrity, because what people know, they already know this man. So they're not going to believe, if you were to come at me and tell me something about Dana or something about Lisa, I already know them as human beings. So I'm less apt to believe something that's very far out of left field. But if I also know somebody, I reach out and I verify, and then you lose credibility.
Exactly. And to your point, what I don't like is I do not care for Gene Cook's politics. That has nothing to do with him as a person. That has nothing to do with him as a man. If you know me, you know that I value family, and I will never spread any type of anything about someone because he has a family. Don't ever mistake my dislike for someone's political view for not liking the person. I can like the person, and I don't like what you represent politically. And when you start saying these things that are unsavory in the assumption that I'm going to repeat it, the only thing that I'm going to do is look at you like you got 6 heads and think, why would you think that would be important to tell me? I just had to, there's a lot of that. Once they find that you don't like a person politically, they try to feed your mind with all kinds of craziness. And I'm not voting for him for personality. It's not what I'm doing. I'm not voting for him because I don't support his political things. And he has never done, he hasn't, I'm not going to say never. He hasn't done anything within the last 4 years to promote any person of color. He hasn't put us on one paid board. He hasn't come into the community. He hasn't done anything. So I'm not going to support someone. The same thing I feel about Joan Sergel. What has she done? You put a few Spanish people on your thing, great. Arriba, but what does that have to do with anything
No,
else?
she did the exact opposite of what she's representing. Especially, that's why the Italian video of her with her dad bothered me so much. 'Cause
Exactly.
her father did so much to help with the Greens, and just like Andrew Rea, now you're following the tailcoats of one of your parents. You are not the same people. But
Right.
the difference between Joan and Andy Rea also has a track record, like you were pointing out. Really, what has he done for us? I can't really name
Right.
that much. Maybe that's why he wants to be the clerk and go file stuff. I don't know. But in regards to Joan, she has a track record working with the EDC, the CDA, and she did it all under Frank. And all Frank's things that were passed are coming to fruition now, and we're seeing the damage and the impact, and that's all her. So to represent herself any differently, she's lying. It's a blatant, straight out lie. It's disingenuous. So, I'm glad you cleared
Yeah, I
up.
mean, it's at the point where I'm tired of playing nice in the sand with everyone. I'm tired of just being respectful because of name recognition. I'm tired of going along to get along. And I'm only basing my information and my thoughts on their terms currently. So Jean's last 4 years, Joan's, she's been in 3 years or whatever, 2 years or 3 years. I'm not even going back to what she's done before. I'm going back to what she's done since she's been
She's
sworn.
been around for like 15 years. Let's not color ourselves here.
Well, here is my philosophy on that. I know how you feel. She was around, she wasn't there. My thought process is she wasn't in the position where she could make, she wasn't a town member. She was just an employee. So I can't base my political. No, you can, but I
She's
can't.
in charge of the EDC, the Economic Development Corporation, and in charge of the CDA, the Community Development Agency.
Right.
After I'll agree with you on the part where her tenure when she was Frank Patron's personal secretary,
Okay.
before she was placed in charge of the EDC and the CDA. But the EDC and the CDA are all wholly responsible for bringing in Source to the Station, that big monstrosity of a building we keep showing you, with reaching out and doing all the outreach and dealing with all the developers that we're now starting to see being built that were already voted in under the previous administration. She was a part of that.
That's fine. And that's
She was in charge of her department.
But she was not a town council person.
Correct.
At the time.
Correct.
So I'm not going to base my political view on what she did before she was sworn into office as being my town councilwoman. I'm going to base my political views on what she's done since she's been in office.
Okay, but prior than that, she was overdevelopment happy. That's what she always.
I can't base a political view based off of what she did before. Now, she was in there before. We know that she had all that, but that was before she was on the town board. I can't base. She wasn't politically connected, and as far as the town politics go, but that they vote on laws and everything. Yes, she was in charge.
Yeah, no, you're right. You're right. But now she's more dangerous because before she was promoting and helping get it here, and now she's voting it in. So, and she has the background on how to help the developers and how everything and she's been involved for 15 years. I would rather see a vote like what you're saying, get new people in. That's why you say you're going with Andre and Kathleen Cleary.
I may.
Right.
But definitely Andre.
Yeah. But I get the whole, out with the old, in with the new concept. But she's already told us who she is.
But obviously, you have to be realistic. The lady has gotten in again.
I know.
Well, people talk about.
There's a whole new. Refer yourself to season 1, episode 1, and then you will know why Joan got in. And she had a lot of money coming in from the typical Democrats in the town of Huntington. And we are a it's hard to explore a weird town. We definitely swing sometimes. And we did swing the pendulum, but for the most part, a lot of the money, except for north of 25A, there's a lot of money and what they do is like Frank Petrone or any of the other Democrats, Mark Cuthbertson, anybody who was already there, they take from their Friends of campaign and they pad the person who's running with the maximum contribution they can make from their Friends of campaign. And you'll see all this. If you go to, not Open Secrets, but the Suffolk County Board of Elections, they let you know who is making all the political, you go and you look at Andre, it's people, it's regular people. You go and you look at Joan and you're gonna Friends of, and it's Friends of coming in from everywhere. The Democrats back their own and they pad it with money.
Even if, okay, I can't say, you know, that politics are politics, right? We all have, everybody has endorsements. I don't know who's voting, you know, who's paying for what. But here is what I am saying is that she got in by appointment the first time. When she ran again the second time, when she had to actually run, she got in again.
Yeah, she did.
Mark has gotten in many times. So obviously somebody's voting these people in, regardless of the money. They're getting voted in.
And we also live in the culture of identity politics, and that's the reason why the Democrats are running 2 women.
Yeah, but you run into 2 women. They're 2 white women. You're running and you snub the black man. People didn't forget that. People did not forget that.
My God, I forgot.
Thing.
I forgot about that. Thank you for reminding me.
It was like,
I remember that.
Yeah, so yeah, you're running 2 white women, which is typical. Okay, you got your little minority now because they're women, but they're white, and you snubbed the black man for it, and you did it sneaky.
But that's because they believe the voters are that stupid. They're going to see 2 women up there. They do, and they do believe that. Lisa, your cat is eating right into the green screen.
I see all his black spots are gone.
Oh,
that is creepy as hell.
That's so Halloween.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. That's Halloweenish right there.
Yeah.
Tyson, your head is, oh my God, his head is missing. Tyson, hey.
Oh, that is freaky. So I got my girls some green screens last week as little presents so that we could use our backgrounds to help bring you fun stuff from around town. We do have other things in works. We have a lot that we're working on, but life just keeps getting in the way. For some reason, our children still want to eat dinner. We don't get it sometimes.
Every day they want to eat. I don't understand why they need to eat every single day.
I know, we're trying to educate the populace here.
They don't understand that part. Look at Lisa and her best friend.
Look at her. Did you turn that sideways? Say something.
Yeah.
Oh, weird.
Now she's upside down. Oh,
there you go. Now I gotta change it because I can't get him in the picture.
No, he's too tall. And I warned you about that. Sometimes you have to crop it long.
Yeah.
And stole her signs.
Oh, yeah, you've had your signs stolen.
Oh, my signs.
Yeah.
Yes, my signs. My Andre Sorrentino and Gene Cook signs were stolen right from my lawn. Some filthy little turd came right onto my lawn and stole my signs. Tonight I got new ones from Gene and Andre, and I put them inside my window. So come on inside.
That's, even though we laughed about it, that's a little scary. Last night, my son said that there were 2 people in my driveway. And when he turned the light off, the people ran. I don't know who in their right minds think that it's okay to go on people's personal property, but you come over to this neighborhood, everybody on this block is packing. There's law enforcement to hear the kazoo. You'll feel it. I don't know what gives you the right to think that you're allowed to do that, but you need to stop.
Well, apparently someone around the corner from me off Lenox got some surveillance because they have a really good camera system, and there's a white pickup truck.
No, I got it, Lisa. I want to put it up there.
White pickup truck.
Oh,
snatching them up, throwing them in the
Did you guys
back.
see this one?
I saw that. I did see.
We got it. We got to make sure that we add this for austerity, and then we'll close the show. Here, watch this. So brazen.
Makes me so mad. So invasive. How dare you?
That's my point. How
dare you? How dare you?
How dare you?
Wine bucket.
Look at
There's
this.
things that I won't get upset about, but you started
they-
invading people's privacy. I can't deal
Look
with
at
that.
this.
Yep.
Look at
Look at
that.
it.
Look at that.
Got it?
Two of them.
And they run. They knew what they were doing was wrong.
It was wrong. What are
And
they
they're,
doing?
doing it at night, you dirty little cowards. Mm.
Is right. Wait, he's going to start talking. Let me turn him off. So, believe it or not, it's that time of the night.
Oh
I can't
my
find you guys.
God. We need more time.
No,
And we need to people don't forget that Jenny made an announcement today that I was right. I'm never gonna let these two live it down,
I think
because
you
I
make a
know
video
people,
on it. Yeah.
I know how people behave, people's behavior in general, not just in those particular people. But just keep that in mind, okay? It just had to
We're gonna get you a steak and that dessert we all loved. We're gonna get that too.
And it's gonna be cooked rare.
Oh yes.
See, Lisa, you always got to start some crazy. I'm black. I don't eat no rare. So you got to cook that.
You got to know the culture.
Yeah, man. We don't eat
I
that
work in a
stuff.
steakhouse. I do. I
think
figure well.
she was just trying to make a play on throwing some raw meat out there.
Yes,
You
I
know,
was.
so I was like, mm-mm.
So before we go, I just want to make an announcement that the planning board is having a special meeting tomorrow. We have been following this bouncing ball, and we will continue to on the Fort Salonga project. So they're having a planning meeting tomorrow at 10:30 a.m. So if anybody can make it down there, please do so, to at least bear witness. If not, I've heard a lot of people that are complaining they basically want their politics to come to them. They can't go to the meet the candidates, this, that, and all this other stuff. The meetings are online. If you can't make it down there, at least educate yourself on what's going on. The planning board, the ZBA, the town board meetings are all online. And a lot of the debates, the NAACP, I don't think they do, but we're going to try to do that for them this year. Well, at least I'm going to try to just record as a citizen in the audience. Not that I have an agreement. I actually just threw that out there just now. But the League of Women, I just know the debates that are coming up right now. So the League of Women Voters, I know that they do put their debates up. And I don't know, but I think there's another private citizen, I may be wrong on this, who's doing one of the ones for the PTA presidents that is throwing in Harbor Fields. You guys know Tracy, we see her all the time. She was part of the Villadome Mall. So I think she had planned to kind of do what we do and broadcast that live, just so other people can see it in her district, from what I understood, from what I read somewhere. So, but other than that, do you guys have any final thoughts?
Just to say thank you, Andre and Jean's Camp, for getting back to us in regards to doing the show. We look forward to sitting down with both of you, especially me. I can't
Well,
wait.
Tina, it's going to be a live call-in. It's not even a sit-down. So it's going to be anything can happen.
That's why I can't wait. I'm waiting, especially for Mr. Cook.
Oh, goodness. I think
Gonna make my day. Yeah.
Lisa, anything with your cheese cat?
Here, kitty, kitty. Wait, here, kitty, kitty. Yeah, I gotta go feed my cat. See ya.
And so on that note, I hope everyone enjoyed this evening's Huntington View, and we will see everyone next Wednesday. Have a good evening, everyone.
Bye, guys.
Bye, everyone.